Hello everyone, welcome to another video of Colors Tech powered by Slideshow. And in this video, we are discussing how to show WooCommerce products in Flutter app with API. So, if you are creating a Flutter app and you already have a WooCommerce website or an e-commerce website. So let's see an e-commerce website here. Let's say this is our e-commerce website which already has so many products as you can see here. If you click on any one product, you can see its description, everything, images and everything. So this website is already there and many products are already added in this website. So from here you will go to shop and dashboard. So you will see that many products are already added here. So in such cases you already have this data, their price information, their image, their everything you have, right? So if you want to show this data in a Flutter app, so we will do it from scratch and you will learn that. Okay, so I have created this requirement sheet also. Like you must have the Flutter installed. Let me reload this for you. So you must have Flutter installed in your computer, XAMPP installed, Composer installed for PHP, WordPress or WooCommerce, and separate videos to create an e-commerce website in just 15 minutes and showing MySQL data and Flutter app installation, and those type of videos are already there on our channel. So we'll get started very easily. But when you have Composer, WordPress, VS Code, all of these things installed, then your job will be very easy. And I have enabled and I have written all the steps here, what you need to do in order to show that. Now on Flutter Documents official website, you will see this test drive document, choose your ID or whatever. So on this link, you have terminal editor where you will see example like create your sample Flutter app. Okay. So here Flutter create test drive. Once Flutter is installed in your computer, how to do that is already the complete tutorial is already there on my channel and many other channels, but you have to first follow that. Considering you have navigated to this video means that you already know about Flutter and its installation process. At least if you don't, you have to install it. We are inside a folder in our E directory, and in our E directory, when we are on this, we will click CMD here. And if Flutter is not installed in your computer, while typing and hitting Flutter will give you Flutter is not recognized as a valid command or something. So make sure that it is installed properly and environment variables are set up properly. Now we are creating Flutter create Woo API Flutter. I'm just creating my app which will be called Woo API Flutter, and when you will hit this, it will take some time because it is downloading some data and creating the entire Flutter project for you. So we have to wait for some time. As you can see, all done. You can find general documentation for Flutter, whatever you want, and they already have the channel. So now our application has been created, and now we can go inside CD Woo API Flutter, and now our application, we are inside our application folder. Now what's there in this application folder, whatever files Flutter has installed for us, so we can see the folder directly, or we will open VS Code here, and in VS Code we will open folder. So we are inside our Flutter folder where Woo API Flutter we have selected, and once you will select this folder, you will see all the necessary files are there now. Your Dart tool, your idea, your Android, iOS. So because Flutter can be used to create apps for Windows, Android, iOS, web. So all those Mac OS, all those folders are here. So that's why Flutter is gaining so much popularity that you can create once, debug once, and then it will be uh, optimized for all platforms. Here, the main file that you have to consider right now as a beginner is inside lib. There is main dart. So we have this file, okay, and some basics are already there on our channel, like how to create a column in body, what is app, what is this, what is that. That is already there. What is your app bar? So app bar is your title and all. So before understanding all of this, let's run this and see what we can see here. You know, this is obviously Dart programming language. So when we installed all of this, so and we are inside our Flutter, so what we will type is Flutter run. Okay. Now once we have done Flutter run, what it's saying is it is asking us to, it is giving us the list of connected devices. First of all, like which devices are correctly connected to my computer, and it is asking us to show demo. Many people use many people use, Android Studio. I have just connected my iPhone also. So many people use different platforms. Let's say you are on Mac OS, you are on other type of like Linux or wherever you are. So you will be seeing this type of different choices. Okay, let me quit this for now and Flutter run once again. So I know again it is still showing that. So what is best for me is Chrome, because on Chrome I can see what is happening in my app, what has Flutter by default given to me, and once I will make some changes, what is going to happen. Okay, so it is, waiting for connection from debug service from Chrome, and once this process is finished, you will be able to see a pop-up like this, and in this pop-up you can already see the, demo, and you will see Flutter demo home page. Okay, and here you can see this button which is incrementing this number. Now once you come back to your Flutter app, you can see background color is theme of context, text widget title. Okay, and these type of settings are there. Okay, and here you have import package flutter material.dart, which is the default package that has been imported. The second file that you have to keep in mind is pubspec YAML file. So as a beginner you will focus on main.dart and pubspec.yaml file. I will open this on side. So what is this file going to do is it has the dependencies. Like if you want, suppose you want to work with APIs, you will set dependencies at HTTP. Let me show you in another application. So here if you will go to pubspec.yml, you can see we have dependencies HTTP 1.2.2. So for this app also, if I want this dependency, so here I will simply hit enter back and put this. Okay, now I will save this and I will go to my folder. We are inside this. I have to make sure we are inside the correct folder. And first of all, I will click and restart it. Okay. I will quit and run it again. And we will select 2 again. So you can see now the dependency HTTP 1.2.2 is installed. Okay. So if you have made changes, this is one simple way of doing that. Obviously there are more efficient ways which we will discuss later. And now with that dependency, our application is now set up. Okay. Now this is the Flutter part that we have done. Now we have to see the WooCommerce part. In our WooCommerce or whatever shopping CMS you are using, you have to go to WooCommerce and go to settings. Okay. From here you have to go to advanced settings. This is where we will work with WooCommerce API. Okay. Now you have to go to the REST API, and from REST API you can see you have to add a key. Okay. Because WooCommerce in itself has a great API and you just have to use that. And description I am keeping Flutter on LOC local. You can give some description, a meaningful description, your username. Permission I am giving only read permission. Suppose you want product management, orders, addition, everything from that app, like add to cart and buy or purchase, then in that case you have to use read and write. That we will deal later. Right now we are just doing it as a beginner. Now generate API keys. Oops, you can see. So you can copy these consumer key and consumer secret somewhere because they will be used later in a project. Now you again have to go into XAMPP and htdocs. Inside XAMPP and htdocs, you have to create a folder. I have created a folder called WooCommerce APIs, WOC APIs, whatever you want to create. This folder is where our API will rest. Our API will be there, an API from which will read data from our WooCommerce website, which will read all the products data and display it in form of a JSON file. Okay. So for that, let's open this first, and here you can see first is require directory vendor auto load. So you will need automatic WooCommerce client. Now what is this? So here in my tutorial you will find this line, Composer require automatic WooCommerce. So once you have Composer installed, you go inside the folder, you type cmd there. Okay. And in your cmd you just have to copy and paste that. So this particular Composer will install all the files that are needed to communicate with WooCommerce APIs from any hosting or local host or a web host. Okay. So here you have to type this. So inside your czamp htdocs, the API that you have developed, you have to run this. In my case, it will, install it. It is already there, but it has finished the process. And here you have Hook API, and inside vendor, automatic and everything is installed, and auto load is installed. Okay. Here in your BWTUT, you will create a file like this, This entire code will be shared with you, and it's on that URL itself, which I will leave. So you don't have to type all of this. And here I will simply explain this code. So here you will type the URL of your website, which in our case is currently my shop. Here you have to put the consumer key and consumer secret. Remember, I am just using a test and dummy site. So for me, it's open. I will delete this later. But when you are working on a real website, make sure that you don't share these things with anyone. And here, when you will put these things, you are all done. What it is going to do is, for each product as product, that means first of all, it will get all the products data. Okay. What we are demanding is product name, product price, first product image if available, and short description. So what happens with WooCommerce is, when you have a product, okay, so in your product you will see all of this information, like there is a product name, you have a short description, you know you will, if it's a variable product, you will have its price, its gallery, its product image. Okay, so it will show you that. Okay, so now this is, for example, DNK red shoe is rupee 150. It's always obviously a demo product. So this, all this data which is stored in the database of WooCommerce, it has 31 products. It is now fetching that. Okay. The beauty of this API is, we are getting WooCommerce get products, which is fetching all products, but you can use different type of parameters here to fetch products of a particular category only. Suppose in your app you are creating two sections, one for women, one for men, and whatever products are there in men category you want to show in a different case, or in a different screen, and whatever products are there in women category you want to show. So that will be discussed later in this same part of Flutter development that we are teaching. Now, as you can see, I have uploaded this video. Setting up a WooCommerce website is very quick process, and website is already mobile friendly. Many people also load this through web view, but Flutter has its own advantages, because it can develop applications for multiple devices. So if we can read the same data that we already have and show it somewhere, that will be best. Now we are inside the main.dart file, and we are going to modify this file a little bit. But before that, we will see if we are able to see the API. So localhost slash, just a minute, Wook API, a folder that we have created, and here we have my shop API PHP. So let's open this, and you can see we can now see the product images. We can now see everything. So it is showing us this data. Okay, and this is how we can fetch the product details first of all, and it is showing in the API. Okay, first part is done. Now what I am going to do is, because I already created a video where we did a Flutter test API where we read some categories data. That tutorial is already there, but I'm explaining. After adding the dependencies, you have to import this package, which is http.dart, http.dart as http, and we have to import this dart convert. Okay, here a new function will be created, which is called fetch categories in this case. in our case it will be fetch products, and in that fetch categories or in fetch products function, the URL will be URL of this API that you just saw, which is returning JSON. Response will be stored in this response variable. If response or status code is 200, then in the categories variable we'll store json.decode, and this categories is basically a list. Okay, so in this categories list, which is currently empty, whatever products data is being read will be JSON decoded. So if you see here, all the data is being JSON encoded. Okay, and there it will be decoded. Here it is JSON encoded, there it will be decoded. That way it will be able to show that data as a string. So here is our main body part, like main app. In our app we have the app bar, which shows the title, what color should be the title and everything, and this is the body part. So app bar is your header, this header, and this is your body, right? So in your body we have to create this expanded, and in expanded we will use the list view builder to put the categories. Now I will just modify this code a little bit, because in our case, it is products, and instead of category name we have product name, product price, and so on. So let's see. So we have modified the code, and here you can see we are using the package Flutter, package http.convert, and we have made the our title as product grid, whatever you want to call it. Here you can mention name of your shop. So this will build a build context, and this is the main function here, which is fetch products. So it will get to this URL, which is giving us data in form of this JSON, and in response, if everything is okay, it will fill the where data with our JSON code, and products will have this data. Otherwise we'll throw a exception. Now in our body, if product is not empty, it is going to do all of this. So if empty, it will show a circular progress indicator, which will always keep running if any problem is there. So if that progress indicator keeps running, that means your API is not returning data properly. There is one simple thing that you have to do. You have to add this line access control allow origin. Okay, without this line, that indicator was running. So when we add that, then it shows the data. Then it is building a grid view where padding will be 10, and in grid delegate we will do 2 axes. So first let me show the output. Okay, this is the output. Let's show some responsive guys. Let's say iPhone 14 Pro Max. So it is going to look like this. Okay, so you can see the product data is being read, and let's open 75%. You can see DNK yellow shoes price is $120, $175. Again, we have to fix these things because the price is not in dollars there, it is in rupees. We have to fetch the currency directly, but again it is showing us some data. That is a good sign, and that data we can already see from these products. Okay, so yeah, from here whatever products are there, they are showing there. So this is what we have said. We have said that 2 products will show in one row. Again, in your product name, it will put products index product name. This is the key of the JSON. These are the four keys, and it will, and these are the settings like in child column, how much height, how much width. In image dot network, because we are selecting the image obviously from a URL, we are going to display the product image, padding and everything. So this entire code along with description and everything with explanation and everything is already here. So here the code is there. So what fetch products is doing, what grid view builder is doing. It's used to create a grid layout with two products. If you want to show three, you can use three. If you want to show four, you can show four. These are the project title widgets. These are the different API endpoints. Here you have to provide your own endpoint. Remember, if you have a live website, then you can do the same setting in the live website. You can create the consumer key, consumer secret, and fetch products from there. Why we are doing this? Because we have developed many websites for our clients using WooCommerce and similar type of platforms where the data is already there, and client requires some app. They just want to show data in the app, like they want users to buy, download the app from their different play stores like Apple Play Store or Google Play Store, and from there they just want to test. So uh, this is what we are doing. Obviously, you can create the entire thing on Flutter itself, but this is just a simple demonstration. And currently, as you can see, the image is not showing. We will obviously fix that, and after fixing all of this, we will upload the next code later. So if you like this explanation, if you are able to do this on your own, please let us know, and please subscribe to our channel so that once we upload more videos related to Flutter development, API development, you will get the notifications.